How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Today I have a super original video idea for you guys. I don't think anyone else has ever made one of these before. We're going to be doing an iceberg video. More specifically, we're going to be talking about the disturbing Reddit posts Iceberg. Now, if you somehow don't know what an iceberg video is, first of all, welcome out of your coma. An iceberg list is just a way of sorting information from most known to least known, or in this case, least disturbing to most disturbing. In this video, we're only going to be covering the first tier of this list, but if you like this video, let me know, and I will absolutely cover the rest of the tiers and then compile them into one long video at the end. With that being said, my name is Chase, this is Scare Files, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Also, just a content warning for you guys, we're going to be talking about some pretty intense things in this video, so if discussing things like SA makes you uncomfortable at all, this might not be the video for you. Now with that out of the way, let's kick things off with That Evil Farming Game. This one is very mild compared to what comes up later. That Evil Farming Game was originally mentioned by the user Sparta213 on the subreddit Tip of My Joystick. This game was kind of like Harvest Moon. I know almost nothing about this game. All I can remember is that it's kind of like Harvest Moon, but with a dark twist. The game starts out with you and your wife. One night you get into a fight and you end up stabbing her to death. Now the game revolves around you farming to stay alive while trying to keep the town from finding out about the incident that happened. Every now and then the cops come to search your house and you have to hide her corpse. Edit. I have no recollection of what console this game was for or when it came out. I know that it was released after 2000. I know this is so vague, but it's really hard to remember something you forgot. Also, it had to be before mid-early 2015. Graphics were not 3D. I'm 100% sure it wasn't a browser game. This post gained a good amount of traction and had a lot of people theorizing as to what game this might be. A couple years later, a different user would make a post on the same subreddit, and it seems like they're trying to find the same game. Evil Farming Game. There was this game I used to have downloaded in about 2006 before I upgraded my computer and lost it. It was a farming Stardew Valley style of game where you murder your wife and then you try to pretend you never killed her, and that was the whole game. Keep farming and make sure no one finds out you killed her. There was a fishing minigame, and I specifically remember fishing up evidence of your wife's murder and then you pass out. Edit. It wasn't pretending to be a kid's game, it wasn't RPG Maker, and I got it off some indie dev's website. There were screens between each day that showed the date in the game, and one of the characters was an old dude with a white beard. At this point, a ton of Redditors were scrambling trying to figure out what this game was. It had a lot of people curious. And apparently this game never existed at all. It all stems from a streamer named Vinesauce who in 2015 had an idea for an evil Stardew Valley game.
It honestly, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like Harvest Moon, but with like corpses. It sounds like that'd be a fun game, just playing as Harvest Moon, but throughout all of the gameplay, you gotta hide a dead corpse. You know what? You know what? No, fuck. You know what it is? Harvest Moon. It's just regular Harvest Moon with your wife, and midway in the game, you have an argument with your wife, and you accidentally kill her with like a, I don't know, like a saw blade. No, fuck it. You kill her with like a barbecue kebab rack. Like you impale her accidentally, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't mean that. And at the same time as you gotta like, you know, you gotta manage your farm, you know, raise your chickens and milk the cows. You also gotta like hide the body from the cops sometimes, from health security checks, and yeah.
The original poster, Sparta213, also admitted that he would frequently fall asleep to Vinesauce's streams around this time, so it seems like this was all just a dream. This doesn't explain why other people shared this false memory of this game. Maybe they were falling asleep to Vinesauce streams too, but this is the widely accepted theory now, and the game just never existed. Yay video games. Around 2008, in the earlier days of the internet, there was a user who went by the handle Yay Video Games who was active in several different gaming communities. There was nothing odd about him, he was just a normal guy who was very passionate about video games and liked talking about them with other users. Well, around 2010, another user makes a post in r/gaming, one of the communities that Yay Video Games was very active in. Just got Oblivion for PC. What are your favorite mods? I want to make this game as pimped out and awesome as I can. Yay Video Games comments under this post, the uninstall button. The game is great and all that, but god is it hard to fully remove all the junk it leaves behind on your system. you really need to check out that mod when the time comes to get rid of it. Otherwise, I think Oscuro's Oblivion overhaul is a nice start. Obviously, people were confused by this because the response really doesn't make any sense, but when asked about it, Yay Video Games would respond, the uninstall button. The game is great, Ubisoft goes Steamworks bye-bye, always on DRM, but you oft go work, always on work DR. Check out the junk it leaves behind in you. This comment makes even less sense, but Yay Video Games would go on to spam the phrase Ubisoft goes Steamworks bye-bye, always on DRM over and over again with different formatting each time, which means he wasn't just copy and pasting these, he was actually writing them himself. He would also occasionally link pictures of him handwriting the phrase, and in all, he spammed this phrase over 4,000 times. Eventually, Yay Video Games would stop posting, and he hasn't been seen since, so it seems like this Redditor just had a mental break and lost his mind. According to another Redditor claiming to be his friend, Yay Video Games passed away in 2015, unfortunately, so rest in peace. Colby 2012. Now we're getting into the real stuff. This one is disgusting. This is referring to an Ask Reddit thread from 2012. I think my teenage son may have touched our dog. I'm not sure what to do. Help me Reddit. This is a long one. There are 3 separate posts from this user about the situation with his son, and quite frankly, I don't want to read them. But long story short, this dad takes his dog into the vet, and they say that it seems like someone did a special act with this dog. On top of that, he found some suggestive content on his son's phone having to do with animals, which leads him to suspect that his son was responsible for this. Eventually, he confronts his son about this, and the son admits to violating the dog with a hairbrush. And somehow this guy decides to not tell his wife and to just let his son see a therapist, hoping this will all just blow over. Shockingly, he finds the son being inappropriate with the dog again only a few months later, and this time he does decide to tell his wife. When confronted by his mom, the kid denies everything, and she actually flips this over on her husband and accuses him of being inappropriate with the dog. And what do you know, it happens again. Who could have seen that coming? This time, the otherwise friendly dog finally decides to defend itself, and he bites the son twice. At this point, the wife realizes that she was wrong, but the husband decides to leave and take the dog with him. Captain Coochie's Key Lime Pies. This is a very strange and deep rabbit hole that I'm not going to be able to do full diligence to here, so if it sounds interesting to you, I would definitely recommend looking up a full deep dive on the topic. Captain Coochie's was a family-owned restaurant in Asheville, North Carolina. It opened up in 1978 and closed its doors in 2006. Since its closing in 2006, the building has been essentially abandoned. In 2009, however, 3 years after the closing, strange reviews referencing Captain Coochie's key lime pie began to pop up all over the internet. These strange reviews would continue to pop up for another 7 years until they eventually faded out in 2016. These reviews would pop up under various different aliases and names, but many people theorize that it was all being left by one guy because the writing style in them is all very similar. One of the aliases used for these reviews was Roger Ramjet, which is actually the name of a character from the show Roger Ramjet. It was a cartoon that aired in 1965, and it only aired for 1 season. This show is very obscure, which means the poster probably grew up watching it, putting them around 70 to 80 years old now. And what do you know, one of the key plot points of the Roger Ramjet show was leaving secret messages behind in pies, which has led some people online to theorize that there is some sort of deeper or hidden meaning in all of this. What also lends credence to this theory is that, if you remember, I said that the poster stopped leaving these reviews in 2016. Reddit also found these reviews and started discussing them in 2016. This could be a coincidence, but many people speculate that the poster was aware that people were discussing him online, and he didn't like that people were looking into this, so he stopped posting. This mystery is still unsolved, but there are several theories surrounding it, one being that this was an AI or some sort of social experiment, which I don't think is the case. The reviews were left very sporadically, and there were never more than 10 reviews left in a single day, which makes me believe that it was in fact a real person typing these out. Other popular theories are that all of these reviews were just simply left by an old man with some sort of mental illness, or these reviews were some sort of coded message that we don't understand. Some people also believe that it could have been a troll, which makes no sense to me. Why would you shitpost like this for 7 years straight, and then as soon as the internet starts recognizing it, completely drop off and never post again? 2 broken arms. This is referring to a post made around 2012 in the IMA subreddit. I am a man who had an intimate relationship with his mother. Obvious content warning: if this stuff makes you uncomfortable, this post makes me uncomfortable, and I have been chronically online since I was like 9 years old. So if you want to tap out here, I don't blame you. When this kid was around 14 years old, he had an accident which resulted in him breaking both of his arms, and obviously without the use of either of his arms, he couldn't whack it. As a 14-year-old boy, he starts getting kind of moody, and eventually his mom figures out what might be the issue, so she decides to help him release some of the tension. This relationship would continue to progress until they were full-blown doing the deed, and somehow the dad was completely supportive of this the entire time. I do not understand how you can be okay with your life being you getting cucked by your son. And to make this even weirder, they continued this relationship long after his broken arms healed. They only broke it off after he went away for college. Anyways, this OP believes that this entire relationship that they had was a positive thing, and he doesn't regret it. When he was asked in the comments if anything was too far, he says that kissing and cuddling were both weird and kind of off limits, which is crazy that they draw the line at kissing. Anyways, that was tier 1 of the disturbing Reddit post Iceberg. If you liked this video, please let me know in the comments or by dropping this video a like, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe. My name is Chase, this has been Scare Files. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.